Yeah, you're watching the live reaction of the Ghost of Yotei gameplay reveal. We can finally say it. It's going to happen. We see the countdown on screen. If you're coming here later, then totally skip ahead, of course. We will have timestamps in the video bar, so you can immediately watch the gameplay. If you're watching live, welcome. Thanks everyone for joining as always. Appreciate you all being here. I'm of course joined by Joyce. Good evening. It's 11 p.m. here in Europe.
Good evening. It's late, but not as late as we usually have a state of play. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right. That's right.
how's it going, everybody?
And Dennis is of course here too.
Hello, everybody. Very excited to be here.
Yes, we all are, because it's finally time. For people who are not familiar, what happened? Because of course, this one. We were all.
Let's rewind a month or more back.
We were all watching
with bated breath, and then they revealed
the
this.
June state of play, and we were like, finally, they're going to show a PlayStation exclusive. Let's go. Atsu is looking over the camp. And they're gonna do it. The wolf is in as well.
Yeah.
This is so exciting.
And here
We
go.
Go.
Question mark?
Yeah, that's the logo. Okay, that's cool. That's true.
This is the loading screen, guys.
That's the loading. But okay,
Yeah,
it still hurts. It still hurts, but we made it to the future. We survived. We're now in the timeline where we can actually watch this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Well, what we're going to do here, Dennis, you actually did a roundup of all the new.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did.
All the info that we know regarding Ghost of Yotei so far. And I think that's pretty cool to kind of go over in this pre-show, get you up to speed on everything we know about the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. And yeah, then we can apply that knowledge to the new gameplay that we're going to see. And it's going to be 20 minutes. It will be with the two directors on the game. And I think they're really going to give kind of a similar sort of showcase as we saw with Ghost of Tsushima, because that worked really well for that game. Maybe, like we saw, of course, Etsu look over the camp. Maybe they're going to do okay, Etsu is not Jin, but she still has different ways to approach a situation like this. Of course, with Ghost of Tsushima, it was like they showed the ghost and then went in as a samurai, or it was the other way around, I can't remember. But either way, they showed the two playstyles. So I am curious what they will highlight here. They already talked about new weapons they will show, special modes. People are already like, are they going to announce Ghost of Tsushima Legends for Yotei? I don't think that's it. I think it's more like a photo mode and a cool filter for playing through the game. But yeah, it should be a big show. But I think it's cool to kind of recap what we know about the game. Dennis, where do you want to start?
Before we start, I have one brain fart about the modes. Do you think they're gonna bring lethal to the game from the start? Because that, I feel, is also an option. It was added later in Tsushima.
That's a great shout, actually.
Yeah.
So that could also be a possibility, which I would be very excited for, because I think lethal was a lot of fun. But just something I thought of. Anyway, regarding the game, so we have a lot of info about the story and setting actually already. So it is called Ghost of Yotei, referring to Yotei Mountain, which is located on the island of Hokkaido. And that's already a pretty important detail, because it's actually hilarious if you put the two together. I think we did that for one of our videos, but if you compare like real life Tsushima, because Tsushima is of course a real place, as is Hokkaido. If you put the two together, you can fit like 60 Tsushimas in one Hokkaido. It is an incredible difference. Not to say that the map is going to be 60 times larger, but it is a lot more space that they are able to play with, which is why I think that new setting...
60 times the detail.
60 times the map, guys. 60 times the map. You heard it here first. Other than
And it
that,
just works.
another significant difference is that this game takes place in 1603, which means that it is set more than 300 years after the original Ghost. So for anyone who is hoping to see Jin back in physical form, unless they're gonna pull a Cassandra, which I don't think they will, and I really think they shouldn't. Jin is not going to be here in physical form. There is, of course, we speculated about it, and I've seen other people talk about it as well. The possibility of there being like a mythic tale about a samurai who stood up to defend his homeland against Mongol invaders, and then you discover his armor or something. That would
Yeah,
be really
it
cool.
seems
But
like
actually seeing
yeah.
Jin, not happening.
No, no,
Um,
no. But I think that is that. I would be like shocked if we don't have some nod to Jin or through a tale like that or anything else or like an Easter egg where you do find
yeah.
hopefully his gear or something of that nature. It would be would suck if he is not in the game at all.
Yeah, and I do wonder if that also plays into the fact that Atsu has a ghost mask. Um, because she's of course wearing something that looks very similar to what Jin had.
Yeah.
Although with some interesting details that I get to in a bit. And regarding Atsu, you see her carrying this scroll. You can see it around her waist now, but sometimes she's also holding it in her hand. That's basically a target list. We're doing Kill Bill in this one, guys.
Yeah.
Basically, her family was murdered, and she was left pinned to a tree outside her family home with her father's katana, which is the one you see her wielding now. And the people who did that are called the Yotei Six, a band of outlaws consisting of, let me look up the names, the Snake, the Oni, the Kitsune, the Spider, the Dragon, and Lord Saito. And most of the ones also have a mask corresponding with their name. So the Kitsune is the more fox-masked one. You see on the right over here. I'm assuming Lord Saito is the leader since he's the only one who doesn't have a nickname. But yeah, so Atsu is seeking vengeance on these Yotei 6. And what I think is really interesting is that because of that, Atsu will, just like Jin, make a name for herself, but rather than making a name for herself as the ghost, which was what Jin became, she will become known to the people of Hokkaido as the Onryo, which is also a spirit, but specifically a spirit seeking vengeance for the things that were done to it in life. So very fitting for what she's been through and what she's now trying to do. But yeah, again, I do wonder the fact that she's wearing specifically a ghost mask, if even Sucker Punch refers to it as such, might be already implying some connection to Jin. Like maybe there have been more ghosts over the years than she is just one of the next in line. But of course, we don't know that for sure.
And you want to talk about that mask already because you've mentioned it a couple of times, but of course it seemed broken and melted.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a specific cultural thing, which I just love the whole idea behind it. I think, if I remember correctly, it's called kintsugi, where it's a part of Japanese culture where if an important object breaks, you repair it, and then you repair the break lines with gold. Because they believe that rather than subtracting from the value of an object, the breaking adds to the history, and so if you repair it, you should emphasize those because they add more to the story. So the fact that this mask was repaired using that technique clearly means it's very important to someone, and also clearly has some history because it was broken and mended before.
Yeah.
So one theory I have is that it could have belonged to her father because she took his sword. Why not take up his other stuff as well? But
why
again,
not rob him when he doesn't need it anymore?
I mean, technically that would be grave robbing.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
she's inheriting it.
Yeah, but either way, it shows that it is a very important object to someone, presumably Atsu, but it could have been someone else. But yeah, it's just a really cool detail to show that
if you are
this mask has some history.
Yeah, and if you are an Assassin's Creed Shadow, like follow with that, then you know that the new Helix pack is basically this too. It basically has the melding of gold.
Oh really? I haven't seen that one. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a newer one. Yeah, Joy's right.
I love to call it Delft's Blauw because it's like with the white and the flowers.
Okay, we have someone asking say a Dutch word. Well, we got the first Dutch word in the stream, so great.
Delftsblauw. There you go. Go look it up.
Yeah.
It's pretty pretty. Yeah, but indeed, the recent Helix pack that they released in Shadows has those kind of markings indeed, and they glow as well.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. But yeah, that's a little side note.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for joining. Of course, I see everyone here already. A lot of familiar names, so thanks as always. We're less than 20 minutes away from the stream, but yeah, let's continue with the recap because we still got quite a lot of gameplay details to go over as well. Dennis, where do you want to go to next?
Well, I think we kind of have a nice little bridge here because the fact that the Yotei 6 are Atsu's main target is kind of important, not just to the story, but also for the way that the whole main quest is going to be structured. And I'm kind of interested in your take on this as well, because we know that you are able to choose which one you want to track down first.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm assuming there's going to be a prologue that sets you out with a little tutorial, and then you go out into the world. But you are free to choose which one of the Yotei 6 you want to go after and in what order.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be kind of similar to... Yeah, I mean, you cannot like talk about this structure and these targets without mentioning Shadows, because a few months ago we've kind of done the same thing. I do think it will be slightly different here. For one, we have less targets, like 6, right?
Yotei 6, so 6 targets.
6 targets.
And there might be a surprise 7th one, but we don't know about that yet. So we know about 6 for sure.
Yeah. So I do think looking at these targets, I mean, or Shadows had like, I think 13, like way more at least. So I do think they will get more screen time at least. There might be like one that we always, like as part of like the opening of the game, that we always fight, and then we learn, okay, like multiple tracks that lead to other targets, and then we can kind of choose which one to go after. But I do think the lead one that we see over here is probably the final one we take out. I personally like having more freedom in an open world game, because that's what these games are kind of about. And I always like it that, okay, we talk about the game, and we spent the same amount of hours, but we've seen completely different things, and this sort of narrative does enable that. So I do think it's kind of cool, and especially because, and that's of course I think where you wanted to go to next, it does seem that the rewards we get from these characters are going to be very important.
Yeah, because one big upgrade going from Tsushima to Yotei is the fact that Atsu is not just limited to using a katana and like some tools and ranged weapons. We have seen her using a spear, a Yari spear, a rifle, which is called a Tanegashima rifle if I'm correct, and you see her here using the Kusarigama, which we of course also know from Shadows. We've speculated as well that she's able to wield an Odachi, so like a katana version of a greatsword, because there was a sequence of clips showing things that Atsu can do, and then there is a sort of semi-unidentified warrior, which we were talking about before stream. I now realized is one of the Yotei 6, but if this theory holds correct, that still means Atsu gets to use the weapon. But yeah, each of the members of this group seems to have one of the weapons that you are able to use. So that is one of the Yotei 6, or Atsu having stolen his armor. We don't know that yet either. So this is the Odachi. Then we have the Kusarigama, and of course she dual wields katanas, which is also really cool. But yeah, when you look at the designs of the 6, like one of them has this rifle or this type of rifle. One of them has an Odachi. I think it's the Kitsune who uses a Kusarigama. So, thinking of it gameplay-wise, that pretty heavily signals, hey, whenever you defeat one of these, you get to pick up their weapon and then use it for yourself. So you see the one with the heavy mustache and the hat. Yeah, he has the rifle. Then we know the bigger guy who is currently not in shot, I think.
No, but you saw them like before for here.
Yeah, there you go. So wielding an Odachi, and I don't remember where the shot with the
fox.
There. Yeah. The Kitsune using a Kusarigama.
Off the shop, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
really
so
looking
cool.
forward to the
So
boss fight
cinematic.
that's happening right there,
Yeah.
like the showdown.
But to quote a popular meme, coincidence? I think not.
No,
I think
no,
no.
Right? Right?
no. I
Yeah,
don't
it would
think
also
so.
be easier, I think, if you like beat one of the Yotei 6 and then get that weapon and get a tutorial right away and be like, this is how the weapon works.
And
And
you
like,
already see the boss use it as well. You're like, oh, that looks awesome. So you can probably replicate some of the moves. If you then get the armor as well, that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Like, and this is kind of a sidetrack, but I do think this character looks like way more beefy than the
Mhm.
one, and also has like a broken mask. And for whatever reason, what we see here, is, was it here? No, it's like one back, right?
The right up. Yeah, there we go.
So the mask is like mended for whatever reason, and it does.
There's a theme going on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the second time.
But yeah, I don't know. I do think this is Atsu, but it's not confirmed yet. But the cool part is for sure that we do get multiple weapons, and we do know that at least in the collector's edition, that's one of the final trailers. Maybe you've not seen this, but I know you two have. But maybe people watching, that they also have some like pre-order content, digital deluxe items, which include the snake armor, and that's like the armor from the snake target from the Yotei 6. So again, they do seem to have these outfits for Atsu too. Kind of weird that this one is deluxe edition exclusive, or it's like an early unlock. I'm not completely sure, but it is interesting that and kind of cool that we can wear these outfits as well. Maybe if like, I'm not sure. Maybe the character.
Maybe it works like wasn't that what they've done for Spider-Man as well? That you certain, I think it was for one, that you get certain suits you can get earlier. With pre-order, but you can also get them in game, and maybe that's the same way that they do with the snake armor.
Yeah, I think they probably talked about it already. I'm gonna quickly look it up, but
that should be in the release date reveal blog post then, because I remember looking for it and not being able to find anything.
Digital includes a
that
digital
would, of
copy
course, been
plus
useful
in-game
info.
bonuses, including the snake's armor set.
Yeah, but it does not say whether that is exclusive.
I don't think it seems to be exclusive because I think Ghost had also an exclusive outfit, that winter one, right? Ghost
The
of
Heroes
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Yeah. So
but that turned out to be a slightly reworked and color swapped version of like the samurai armor.
Yeah, but it did have a unique perk for what I remember, I think.
Really?
Yeah. But
you
they
might be right on that one. I think it's interesting that they just say the snake's armor set and an alternate die, and then it does say unique horse and unique saddle after. So they don't specify that the snake's armor is unique to the digital deluxe edition, but they do for the horse collar and the saddle die. So you can read it two ways.
Yeah, and you have like Traveler's Map early unlock, so that's like another. So. I mean, we're too in the weeds now. Let's go back to some actual info. We're 10 minutes away now from the.
There is one thing that I want to continue because we were talking about weapons, and there's one very interesting detail that they revealed in an interview regarding how we're going to be unlocking new skills. Because Ghost basically, it had a skill tree and armors had perks, and you could upgrade weapons with resources, but there wasn't really a sort of deep RPG system. Like, sure, Jin grew in his abilities, but for Atsu, we now learned is that there are special NPCs called weapon senseis that you were able to find, and that will help you train with certain weapons, that will help you unlock new techniques. Apparently, there are also shrines in the world you can visit to learn new techniques, so they're not just going to be rewarding charms anymore.
That's nice.
And yeah, some examples given in the recap, or like the blurb on the official PlayStation page, are unblockable strikes, which sound very useful.
Yeah.
And the ability to disarm your enemies, which is also new. And I'm wondering if that's like a bigger mechanic, since we now have multiple weapons, if you're able to like steal weapons from enemies, maybe, if you can disarm them. But at the very least, disarming is very interesting. I wonder how
100%.
that's going to function.
And if it's like, I mean, we of course had the moon stands. With the moon stands, where you're like breaking the shield right, from the enemy?
Moon stance was versus the brutes. That's the one where you had like
Oh
the
yeah,
kicks.
yeah.
Where you
So it
could
was like the
also
water
force
stance
people
was
back.
against the shield,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You didn't break them. You
No,
just
no, no.
rapidly attacked to break
they-
their,
yeah,
their stance.
exactly.
You could not physically break the shield.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, that would have been cool, but
No, but it would be fun, and I could totally see them. Maybe the enemies then run around and look for like like a weapon on the ground or something and pick that up again.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. It seems like from everything we're hearing here is just they improved upon an already really good combat system with things that we kind of wanted in the first game already. But yeah, like the stances is the question mark. Are they back?
yeah, that's that's the biggest question I'm looking forward to see an answer to today. I think they will be. I think it was a very key part of Ghost's combat. And I don't think that swapping these stances for like having different weapons, so instead of the water stance, dual wielding katanas is now more useful against shields, and the kusarigama is useful against spears. I don't know. I'm just naming things.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I hope, and I think it makes more sense if they at least keep the stances for the katana and maybe have the new additions or weapons fit another category, not not filled by those stances. Like a spear logically gives you more attack range, which is something you cannot do by changing your stance on a katana.
And it would also be very hard if you can choose which weapon to go after first if you encounter enemies that you cannot really
that
beat.
too.
So that would not really work. And the stance system really worked with the more linear structure that Ghost of Tsushima had, but I don't think with what Yotei is going for. So hopefully every weapon is suitable, or some are, but that you kind of have to figure it out yourself. Okay, Kusarigama has more range, or is like more an AoE. Okay, that's helpful against like smaller like enemies that come in groups, like maybe bandits or whatever. And then the spear, okay, I want to keep the enemy at a distance, like more against bigger targets that are slower or something. So I do hope they change that up in that regard. And do we know if there's a bow, or is it just the rifle?
We have not seen the bow yet, but I am assuming there is going to be some form of like a quiet ranged weapon.
Yeah.
Because of course, as much as I like to run into camps and challenge everyone to fight me, like stealth is a big part of the gameplay, or it was in Tsushima.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine them getting rid of that, which like maybe Outsu relies on things like kunai and shuriken alone, but I have a feeling we'll have like a quiet ranged alternative.
Yeah, you would hope.
And silencers were not invented yet.
And I see it now on screen, but we should also not forget about the musical instrument and what it will it be like the flute from the previous game? Will it change the weather?
What are the flute? Yeah, okay, there you go.
Probably.
Shamisen?
Shamisen.
Shamisen. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Do we also know about another? I think we know about some more open world activities, right? The hot springs are, for example, back.
Hot springs are returning. We know that. Let me see. Shrines as well. So I'm assuming that includes the platforming you had to do for them. And
yeah, we saw that already. Yeah.
We also have Get Your Shadows comparisons ready, guys. We are also able to make sumi paintings. Which is a new activity, so we don't know how those are going to work. If I had to hazard a guess, maybe that's what's replacing the haikus, because I don't know if the haikus are going to be returning. So maybe this is a replacement for that, a sort of calming activity for Atsu to find some quiet and peace of mind. But maybe she's a poet and a paintress. We don't know.
Didn't Jin do that while in the hot spring?
No, that was, you could reminisce about certain topics. So you would sit in the hot spring and then pick like either reminisce on your horse or your uncle, and then Jin would say a short story, and then the haiku were like you had to pick 3 different lines, and then you would get a headband which had the poem you written inscribed on it, so you could see it back in the item menu.
Can't wait for the hot springs, says everyone.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I remember that being a thing when Ghost launched, or before Ghost launched, because we got the age rating and they said it like it shows naked butts, and we're like, oh, what's happening? What's happening?
Exactly.
It's going in the and maybe the fundoshi.
I'm sorry, Jules.
I'm curious about the rating when it comes out on what is it?
I think it already was rated. I think it was already rated.
Oh, okay.
So, rated. Yeah, ESRB has already rated 17 plus.
Right.
Particle nudity.
Yeah. Okay.
Partial-
Well,
partial
that's
nudity.
basically
Partial
hot.
nudity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
partial
That's basically the hot
nudity
spring.
and use of alcohol.
Will we get a fundoshi again? I wonder.
I do hope they put a silly armor in. Like, it doesn't have to be the Funoshi.
No.
Wolf armor? Because
but,
of
like,
your body?
Yeah, maybe just like Atsu screaming in a wolf belt would be funny. But no, I don't know. But like something that's
Oh.
just like, oh, this is silly.
Interesting. So I'm reading the rating right now. This is an action-adventure game in which players assume the role of a wandering warrior seeking revenge for a slain family. From a third-person perspective, players traverse open-world environments, interact with characters, hunt bounties, and battle enemies in duels and melee-style combat. Okay, nothing really interesting so far, but players use katanas, spears, bows, and rifles to defeat enemies.
Well, there we go. There is a bow
There you have
in
it.
there.
Some attacks result in decapitation and dismemberment of enemy soldiers, accompanied by large blood spatter effects.
Was dismemberment already a thing in Ghost?
Yeah.
I'm not really
I
sure.
don't think so, right? There was blood for
There was
sure.
a lot
but
of blood.
I don't think dismemberment was a thing.
Players can also perform assassination skills, neck stabbing, sword impalement, to finish off enemies. These skills are shown from a closer perspective with slow motion effects.
Oh my god.
Cutscenes depict additional acts of intense violence, characters burned at a stake, a man repeatedly stabbed with a knife.
The Steam community does confirm that Ghost of Tsushima has dismemberment.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we
then I
challenge
just
an enemy and
misremembered.
strike, apparently.
Okay, people in chat are saying it now too.
Yeah.
False alarm, false alarm. But it's gonna be back.
Yeah, I wonder
Returning
if we can
feature
turn it off this
confirmed.
time.
Okay.
To prevent YouTube that blood is... Oh! It's fake blood. It's a game, YouTube. It's a game.
A female character's buttocks is depicted in Hot Spring.
Onsen. That's it. That's the one.
They're so gently about this. I
Players
love it.
can purchase and consume sake throughout the game, resulting
Hell
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
did
You can
read
get
it.
drunk.
blurring effects.
Oh, you can
Yeah.
actually get drunk. That's
Players'
funny.
character can also participate in a drinking game.
Oh my
Hell
god.
yeah.
So,
I mean,
So is
lower,
the coin game, is that a drinking game where like if you lose you have to take a shot?
oh, that would be funny actually.
oh,
That would be fun.
could be. I mean, the little cups on the...
Yeah, there were many cups and most of them were empty. That's why I'm saying it.
Oh my lord. There's probably a trophy in there that says get absolutely wasted
Hey,
while
I'm
playing
gonna
that
get some
game.
water real quick and then.
Yeah, go get it.
Yeah, there's absolutely a trophy in there for that. I cannot imagine.
I'm seeing, real quick, I see Mick Motorhead saying, most of all, I want them to make better, more varied missions and give me multiple weapon types. Multiple weapon types are already covered, so I hope we're going to see some of them in action. Regarding more varied missions, they have specifically stated that one of their main goals with this sequel was that they wanted to remove as much of the repetitiveness, specifically of the side content, as they could.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're going to see some of what that means right here, but yeah, that's something that's on their mind as well. I see Philip saying it now as well. I want better side quest. Like that is something that's been, or at least as they've been communicating, one of their biggest focus for the sequel. So I have faith in that they're gonna pull.
I
that
want to
off.
follow a little animal again, and I want to pet them at the shrine.
Oh yeah.
They're probably gonna do
I want that.
You can
please.
pet
I
the
really
wolf,
love the
probably.
foxes.
Mhm.
I really love the foxes. I really like that in Ghost of Tsushima. That was a thing.
Gimme.
Yeah, they're late. Hello.
Gimme
Oh, there we go.
Herman. Okay, thank you, Herman.
There we go. 5 more minutes.
I hate it. I hate a countdown for a countdown.
I mean, at least it's not the very awkward YouTube countdown. Will the game
Yeah.
have ramen? Great question. Ramen Gobbler 3000. I don't know.
For your sake, I hope they do. I
No
really
ramen
do.
is no buy.
No ramen is
Would
no
be
buy.
really
We
funny.
did confirm sake, so you'll have something to wash it away with if there is ramen. So that's
Yeah. I guess with like how the thing will open, I assume they're just going back to that one cutscene that they showed at the previous state of play, and that's where we continue. That's what I imagine is gonna
I
happen.
don't want to see that again because it lives in my nightmares. I then still think that they will pull the "see you in August."
Oh no!
So,
No, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna show 20
Another
gameplay.
thing that I hope they don't have are the instant fill follow missions.
oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
improved conversations with NPCs. Of course, we know they will have the motion capture cutscenes, but like in Ghost of Tsushima, the conversations where they zoom out and you know that there's basically nothing happening when the characters talk. But they kind of did some fun things with that because they knew, okay, it's not exciting to just see some mouths move. But I hope that is improved with this game. That would be nice.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. I wonder how we control the wolf soon. Like, will it be a little bit like, do we have separate controls for it, like on the buttons, or can we just give it commands?
it's probably gonna be commands or just AI controlled and then a command or something. But again, I still think they're gonna give you control over it in some way.
I mean,
I don't know.
they basically gave us like in the Iki Island DLC, if I'm correct, the Mongol dogs, right? That wasn't the Iki Island DLC, Dennis?
And there was a new game plus thing.
Oh, New Game
But,
Plus. Man,
but it
which-
wasn't in the game at large.
Yeah, but like I wonder if they learned from that and they basically put that into the way that
Probably.
the wolf can be controlled,
Yeah.
and that we can pet it. No, but basically that they already had like some learnings from that part from Ghost of Tsushima that they put a New Game Plus and then added to the new game, and then basically put some extra controls on that.
Yeah. No, I totally
that's
think
what I'm
it's
thinking.
an enhancement of that. What we always see with New Game Plus, not a lot of people actually experience that. Only like a small minority. So
Mhm.
yeah, they can totally. I would not be surprised if the charm where you like summon a thunder bolt on an enemy is back to something like that, right? Because that would
Yeah.
still be new for many people.
I do wonder about that. Not because I don't agree with your point. I absolutely understand and agree with that. But I feel like one of the reasons they also added that in New Game Plus is because Ghost was very, apart from the Mythic Tales, Ghost was very grounded. And that included like the armors and the perks. So
Fair, yeah.
now that we're in New Game Plus, we can let the reins go a little bit and do some crazy stuff because people just want to have fun and they understand it's not like canon that Jin can summon lightning
But will
storms.
they have legends again?
Oh, I do hope so. I don't think
really
we're gonna
doubt
do
it.
that today.
Because there's like this PlayStation presentation where they show all the studios and what they're currently working on. And Sucker Punch is in the single player category, while Guerrilla Games is in the multi-genre, or they call it something different. But basically, the studios that do both single player and live service, they are in that category. You would think that, yeah, if you want to do Legends properly, then that is a live service thing. But we will see. It would suck if it's not here. But
Yeah, but then again, I'm fine with them adding it after launch.
oh yeah,
like they
no,
did
but I
with
mean like
Tsushima.
not at all. Like I don't think they're gonna talk about it here, even though it would be cool. But
Yeah.
we will see. And one more, like the weapons. Where we of course talked about the new weapons. Joyce, like let's go around before we start. What do you think the weapons are that we're gonna see? I don't think we're gonna see all of them, namely.
Oh, well, I think that we're gonna see the dual katanas because that's kind of like a basic one that you get at the start. I think we'll see those. I hope to see the kusarigama in action.
Yeah. Same. And
I
you,
hope
Dennis?
that.
Maybe it sounds silly, but I'm kind of curious about the spear.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
spears are potentially such a cool weapon, but many games are like it's the pokey stick, and that's all they do with it. But Ghost being Ghost, I have a feeling it's gonna be a little bit more than that.
Alright, Dale, let's go!
Let's do this.
Woo! Thanks for watching with us, everybody.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Nate Fox.
Hello, everyone. This is Jason Connell and Nate Fox from Sucker Punch Productions.
Close enough.
Ghost of Tsushima was an honor to be a part of. And today, Nate and I get to share more about our next game, Ghost of Yotei. We'll be sharing how we've crafted the game around exploration while keeping Atsu's tale of vengeance front and center. We'll also talk about ghost combat and how it's evolved. And we'll introduce for the first time some new special modes of play.
Woo!
But let's start things off first by talking about a Japanese folk legend, the Onryo.
Okay, modes of play. That's interesting.
Yeah. Plural as well, so
Yeah.
there's more than one.
The people of Ezo believe Atsu is an Onryo, a wrathful ghost bent on revenge. And they're half right. Atsu doesn't care if she lives or dies, so long as she can punish the Yotei 6, a ruthless gang who slaughtered her family. After 16 years in the south, she's returned home to put their spirits to rest.
Go, Erica Ishii.
It's warm memories of her family that propel her forward. When Atsu returns to her childhood home, with the push of a button, you can experience those cherished times.
Also,
Love her
still
cape.
only
By
one
giving you the
sword,
freedom
right?
to explore Atsu's past, the wound of her loss becomes personal. It's that pain that pushes her forward. Hunting down the Yotei 6 is a near impossible task. She'll face 1,000 blades. But the Onryo is relentless, and with each victory, the ghost story around her grows.
Ghost of Yotei focuses on player freedom more than any game Sucker Punch has ever made. But it's also a game that, at its heart, is inspired by so many of our favorite
That draw
wandering
distance,
samurai
damn.
films. So let's start off by
Baby.
talking about exploration at the edge of Japan.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
We all have different playstyles, so we set out to make an open world game that lets you
Oh
drive
my
your own
lord.
experiences. Whether that's your curiosity to wonder, your thirst for combat,
Oh.
or a deep
Resolve is
desire
back,
to
okay.
stay focused on the story.
Damn.
As you explore, there's an underlying clue system that invites you to new adventures in new areas of the game that could be appealing to you. If you interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni, you could uncover a landscape scarred by fire with more bold, samurai-like enemies to fight and abilities for Atsu to
Yeah, the
learn.
bombs.
Did you
Or
spot that?
you ask
I'm seeing-
about
I'm
the
seeing so many
Kitsune,
interesting
might
things.
lead you
See?
to an area
New
filled
weapon.
with
Okay.
snow,
Confront.
deception, enemies that
Oh my
ambush you,
God!
and new ninja
Oh, hello!
tactics to study. Atsu draws cards for each clue to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play,
Interesting.
the more the game unfolds for you.
Oh, this is
As
so
she
my
makes
game.
progress against the Yotei 6, her legend as the Onryo grows.
It's her.
Bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
Are you lost?
I'm looking for some old friends. The Yotei 6.
Show her the door.
Okay.
There is a hefty price on Atsu's head. Now, Atsu can also hunt down her own bounties that bring her all around the land. This is a lucrative way to make some money to fuel her vengeance quest.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You're not of Clan Eguchi. You're here for my bounty.
More jewels, let's go!
Oh, he has the spear.
Oh.
Looks like a fun activity for sure.
I see.
And grappling hook. There we go.
Grappling hook back.
It looks a lot like Ghost of
Hidden in the
Tsushima
world
on
are
PS5.
altars
Yeah.
of reflection.
The golden birds are back.
Finding one
Oh, they are back.
inspires Atsu and unlocks a new ability to help her on the journey ahead.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They are fun to find on their own, but for a quicker route, you can always buy a traveler's map from the cartographer.
Huh?
Right. So that's how
Ghost
that
of
works.
Yotei isn't going to rush you through anything. You can choose what motivates you most.
The tries.
But we think the best way to play is to simply pull out your spyglass,
Sure.
find something interesting
That's
on the
cool.
horizon, and enjoy the ride.
That's right.
Cool, I like that. Oh, you could have picked up the... Oh, well.
For the music as well.
Yeah.
It's hitting. It's hitting.
It's photo mode. Thank
Flower
you.
streams. Wait. So
give it
moving
to a
to
food?
flowers make you move faster? That's so clever.
I love that. I would do so immediately.
The lands around Yotei are fast. It's not about checking it all off,
Hey.
it's about engaging in the content that gets you excited.
Oh, those are
No!
Oh, strikes.
Embrace
Hey!
that curiosity and let the wind guide you on your hunt.
Yeah, the world looks way more varied, like in terms of urban environments that we see and stuff, so that's gonna be exciting.
Ezo is a dangerous place. Atsu always wields a weapon. As for which, that's up to you.
Woo!
Will you choose a katana, spear, a surigama, odachi,
Oh!
or dual swords? Each is uniquely effective against a particular enemy and has their own set of upgrades to discover and master.
Oh, dismemberment confirmed.
Cycle banners.
That sword.
Let's see how she uses these weapons in the field.
That
Searching
thing
for
is
leads on
massive.
Lord
What the
Sato.
hell?
It probably fights heavier too, I imagine.
The soldiers needed more to free you.
Free us. Inokichi steals our crops while our families starve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah!
Atsu's no samurai or ninja. No. She's a lone wolf mercenary who'll use
What?
every advantage,
Okay.
every dirty trick to win a fight.
Now it jumps, she
Awesome.
pulls the enemy towards you. That's so cool.
Combat has the feel of a classic samurai movie.
They can
Every
have like
motion
all
counts.
weapons
It's
available.
about lethal precision.
That's
wonder.
insane.
Oh, what was
Yep.
that? Oh, so the stances are the other
Yeah.
weapons.
They are weapons.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
If an enemy swings hard, Atsu can lose her weapon.
What?
But if she's
What?
quick, she can
See,
disarm.
so disarming is a much bigger mechanic
Oh, that's
than we thought.
careful, yeah.
Choose the right weapon for
Ow!
the job.
Jesus.
To fight a massive enemy, her huge odachi blade is best.
Heck.
It is huge. That's sick.
That's
Gigantic!
that sheathing animation is so cool.
It's almost like...
It's not great for your back though.
No.
Ooh.
He looks like the one in charge.
Tonight, we feast!
Okay. Yeah. Woo!
Blades are great, but ranged weapons work too. And
Yeah.
Atsu's got
There
an
we
Oh,
go.
arsenal.
oh, oh.
Bounty hunter!
Wonder if you can use different bullets.
Thrown weapons like kunai, bombs, or even blinding powder can give Atsu an edge. When enemies switch
Pocket sand.
weapons, you'll have to adapt. Dual swords are best against spears.
No more!
That mask.
Tell me what you know about Saito.
Atsu doesn't always fight alone.
Yeah.
She'll meet several allies on her hunt,
Several.
including a mysterious wolf.
Oh, that standoff is so cool.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah!
My lord, that's awesome.
Atsu can set up camp under the stars of Ezo. But she's not always alone.
Hey, friend. Share your fire with the traveling peddler?
What are you selling?
A mask said to be cursed with the unpredictable nature of its previous owner.
Camping under the stars is a great way to rest up, play your shamisen, or cook to ready for a fight ahead.
Change
It's
time
also
of day.
designed to help bring important characters and upgrades straight to you. In fact, in place of the journal menu from Ghost of Tsushima, we've opted for a more character-driven way of managing allies
awesome.
and vendors you meet in Ezo. Over
That's
time,
so cool.
Atsu grows to have her own wolf pack. And here, you can keep track of when a sensei might have a weapon skill for you, or when a vendor has something unique to sell. Managing upgrades, resources, when to buy what, can be a burden in a big open-world game. At campsites, members of your wolf pack can catch up with you, offering upgrades and unique items. This helps ensure you have every opportunity to upgrade and prepare for Atsu's vengeance quest ahead. You don't have to leave where you're exploring, the game comes to you.
That's pretty awesome.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
While
Transmog.
exploring Ezo,
Please.
you'll discover all sorts of new armor, charms, and gear. Perfect for building up Atsu around your chosen playstyle.
What the heck?
Are you stealth, ranged,
Oh.
or melee focused?
Awesome.
Find and combine the pieces that are just right for you. And of course, customize the look of your armor and weapons to make
Wow.
sure that your version of Atsu looks and fights just the way you want.
I love that. Whoa!
Yeah.
the
that
hood, the
looks-
hood, the
yeah.
hood.
Good outfits in there. Hello. These better all be in
I
the
saw
game.
some really cool
I'm gonna be
mods.
mad. Yeah.
The score of Ghost of Yotei is incredibly special to us. Our amazing composer, Toma Otoa, has created a mashup of Eastern instrumentation with Western flavors, brought to life through an exciting collaboration of many talented artists.
でこうダウンビートまで
If you like what you heard, we're releasing 2 tracks featured in today's State of Play on your favorite streaming service immediately after the show.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
give me the most.
Joyce.
Yes!
The digital photography community for Ghost of Tsushima is incredible. We're happy to have photo mode back in Ghost of Yotei and look forward to seeing photos from your
bear!
journey
Bear!
across Ezo.
Bear mode? A bear companion? Shut up.
He looks happy.
I'm very happy with this,
We
thank
want
you.
playing through Ghost of Yotei to feel like stepping
Okay.
inside of your favorite classic samurai films.
Yeah,
So,
and
from the
then
beginning of the game, we're happy to
Kurosawa.
offer a full Japanese voice track with full lip sync that you can play with subtitles.
Ooh, that's good.
誰だてめえ
Ooh, sounds good. I think he will be the first target, the
生き
snake.
てたか
狼の姫
She has no mask yet.
一人残らず息の根止めたと思った
また会えたな 刀鍛冶の娘。
覚えておけ。圧だ。
To take the feeling of stepping into a classic samurai cinema experience one step further, we are honored to once again partner with acclaimed director Akira Kurosawa's estate for Kurosawa Mode, which emulates his classic black and white films.
I see people say Legends 2. I don't think they're gonna announce it. That would be insane though.
I mean, they could like say it's coming soon.
Yeah.
Maybe after launch.
For Ghosts of Yotei, we wanted to celebrate 2 other influential directors who have had an impact on the genre as a whole. First, we've partnered with Takeshi Miike, director of 13 Assassins, for a
More
mode that puts
blood.
the camera closer during combat for a more
Okay, I know what I'm
intense,
playing.
raw experience along with increased mud and
Oh my
blood splatter.
god!
And lastly, we've partnered with the director of Samurai Champloo, Shinichiro Watanabe. Turn this mode on to listen to some original lo-fi
What the
tracks
heck, man?
directed
That is
by Watanabe
awesome.
himself.
Are we playing a Persona game or what?
Hell yeah.
Yes! I need this
This is
album.
so out of
right
place.
now.
I'm sorry. This is weird to me. But I'm happy that they give the options. But
I'm gonna do this on the first playthrough.
this is
but,
like
this
what
is-
like listening to a
this is good
Spotify
fun.
playlist while playing this game. There are
Chill
some frame
beats.
drops here and there though. I am noticing that.
Chill beats to avenge your
There's
father.
so many
too.
ways to make your Ghost of Yotei playthrough your own. But no matter how you play, here's one way to experience Ghost of Yotei that is sure to be special.
Goes the Yotei controller.
Oh yeah.
They
yeah,
learned
yeah,
from
yeah,
God
yeah,
of
yeah,
War.
yeah.
They're doing the controller reveal last and not first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, God of War, take no.
This is gonna look great. This.
Oh, it's
Oh,
not
they-
a controller.
It
it's
is also a PlayStation. Oh my god.
That is
Kill me.
beautiful, though.
Please tell me they sell the thing like separate
The
covers.
face.
They probably do.
Today, you've got a glimpse into Atsu's hunt for the Yotei 6. Forge your own path while discovering the secrets of Ezo. To survive, you'll need to master a variety of weapons, using lethal precision to overcome the odds and take revenge as the Onryo. Ghost of Yotei comes out on October 2nd. Thank you so much for watching.
Lock it in.
Oh! 60 times the map size.
I told you.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. That was great.
Pre-order now. Yeah, that's it. That is it. Ghost of Yotei. Yeah,
They
where
showed
to
so
start?
much.
They showed
There's
quite a
so
lot.
much
Good.
we can look through. Oh,
Yeah, for sure. I think this I think a very pretty cool mechanic that you
Yeah.
interrogate people that you encounter.
yeah,
they-
that's what surprised me.
So really, one of the big focuses is the freedom of exploration and basically getting information through multiple ways. So yeah, fighting this guy and then doing a move that puts him on the ground so you can interrogate him. And then you have choice. You can say, okay, where's the Oni? I want a new weapon. Oh, I think the Oni gives the new weapon then, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So
Yeah.
we know that speculation turns correct because you'll see when it switches to the Kitsune, it will say that the Kitsune actually rewards you with the Kusurigama.
Yeah. So for people who are not
That's
really
very
seeing it,
smart,
so you
actually.
see it,
So
Yeah.
you know like what type of weapon you want to go after first.
Yeah.
You get to know
Yeah,
that.
you
right?
can specifically hunt down the clues related to that target and
Yeah.
then go
Yeah.
get them because it says what weapon they will reward and what region of the map they are in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly. I see people know Legends mode. No, of course we know that for Ghost of Tsushima they like shadow dropped or like they, out of nowhere announced it 3 months after launch. And yeah, I mean, overall, before we like dive a little bit deeper into it, I'm gonna just roll some of the footage that we see here. What are your overall thoughts on it, Dennis?
I love how they once again tackled and changed elements of gameplay that I didn't even know I wanted. But like, I was like, okay, sure, you can make campfires. That's kind of cool, I guess. But now that I understand what it does and why it does that, it is so clever. Because like, I think the thing that pulls you out of immersion the most in an open world game is like, you're on this epic journey, right? You're playing Horizon, you're playing Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed, whatever. And you're like, okay, but now I want to go into a fight. I haven't upgraded my gear yet, so I fast traveled back to my hub, and then I fast traveled back, and like, that's what makes the most sense. But it takes you out of the illusion of like being on this long journey. Whereas here, you make a camp, you invite the blacksmith over to come help you upgrade your armor, and you can continue from the point where you left off, helping you stay like immersed in that, oh, I'm a lone samurai traveling the world. I think that's really clever.
I'm not sure if you can summon them though. It seems like they are more just joining you to remind you, yo, you have upgrades and you can you can now do it. But I'm not sure if you can summon them.
They said they can come to your camp and like sell you new equipment and stuff. So it is specifically to help you prepare. I don't know if you.
But it seems random. That's what I mean. So it's like, okay, if the bow lady has a new bow, then she will show up. It seems like the next time you open a camp, like something like that. But it's not like, oh, I don't have the equipment yet or the resources. Let's make a camp and summon the bow lady, because it says here, oh, you have to go here. So it does.
But
it also
still
says
very
at a camp and they will visit
you.
It is not random. Then it's just, or at the very least, you can see which one is going to visit you, so you can sort of prepare for that.
If you go into that area, I guess.
Yeah. It doesn't say it here, but if you go back to the
random,
bow lady, it
here.
says above the pop-up, set up camp, it says it will appear at camp if you set up camp. But it only says that for her, so.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Again, we don't know exactly how the system is going to work, but I think it's a very interesting addition. The same with like the clue system. I think it's very interesting. I also think it's really funny that the only other game I can remember that had like an interrogation mechanic like that was Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, where people were like, all right, so nobody can use the Nemesis system because that's patented by Warner, so we'll just steal another good idea and use it in our game.
Ubisoft games have it too, of course, where Shadows had like a very small part of it where it's like, do you want a scout or a world intel? But that was kind of it. But Ghost Recon is known for having that sort of stuff as well, where you can get multiple clues. But it's a very clever system for sure to... Yeah, because it does seem like the game is not gonna tell you anything, so you really have to look for it yourself, which is I think awesome, and of course use the sort of binocular that you have to scan the environment. But there are a lot of different activities seemingly here that you can try out. But overall, in terms of like what they showed, Dennis.
Oh yeah, no, I'm happy, but I think there's very little they could have shown or done that would have made me go like, oh, now I'm no longer excited. I loved Ghost, and if we would just have got more Ghost with like a different character in a new map, I would have been happy. But of course, they're expanding the combat. I don't know what I think about swapping stances for weapons, but I do feel like combine that with the disarming and picking up weapons from enemies. That is kind of interesting, because like, are you able to pick up a spear before you are able to unlock the spear as a weapon if you can disarm enemies that have a spear?
You would think so, or maybe you don't not learn, so you don't like have a lot of skills, but you...
No, but you are able to use it, because that would then create a very interesting gaming loop that sort of avoids the problem we were talking about before the stream, where like, all right, if you find a group and you need a spear to deal with a specific enemy type, but you don't have the spear unlocked, you look through the camp for an enemy that has a spear, disarm them, and then you're good to go.
But it does look like this is just a throwing spear. I'm not sure if it's like an actual spear. I
don't know either, but the design kind of looks similar to the spear she is wielding. Of course, we're gonna go back and forth over these frames like 100 times to make a proper video out of it, because they showed so many interesting things. The one last thing I still want to point out, near the very end of the trailer, there was a shot of combat, and in the bottom right, where normally there would be the ghost stance meter, there was a press L3 and R3 to activate, but it says the Onryo's Howl, which I think is very interesting. I think it was before they revealed the controller, so it's like one of the last parts of proper gameplay.
So
this is like that mode. Right?
They're showcasing the modes. Yeah, I think it was a little bit after that. So then we have the one that you felt was out of place, but like the lo-fi music, and then it should come after that.
Right after.
If I'm not misremembering.
Yeah, before they showed the before they showed the PlayStation.
What the heck? I'm sorry.
Not on your first playthrough. Not on your first playthrough for sure. Okay, so then it was.
Oh, it's after maybe it's after they showed the PlayStation.
It might be, but either way, I feel like we see a lot of similarities between Jin and Atsu, which I think is very cool. The one thing I will say, it's here. It's this shot. Or well, not this shot. Yeah, it's that meter, but if you go a little bit further, there's a shot where it's actually filled.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, here indeed.
Yeah. So that's not a ghost stance. That's something else. That's gotta be interesting. I want to know what that is.
I mean, the howl kind of matches the wolf, right?
Yeah.
Not sure what it is. Is it like a rage? So.
I mean, we don't know. We don't really have that much to go off. The one thing that I felt they could have done a little bit more to improve is the platforming, because that seems pretty much exactly the same from what we've seen so far, apart from slides. And I felt like that could have done with a little bit of improvement. But overall, I am really happy with what they showed here.
And you, Joyce? They showed
I think what?
They showed the photo mode.
Yeah, they did. They showed like a lot, actually, what you could do, and of course the hidden bear companion. I was like,
that's interesting.
Why is that in there?
But yeah, overall.
I think overall, I liked. I think I would mention, but the same with the opinion with Dennis. I liked Ghost of Tsushima, like the first one, and seeing how they improved on a ton of things, and also how beautiful the world is. How characters seem to move. Also, I would love to replay the game in Japanese again, because they already added that mode. I think overall it intrigues me. I was mentioning like this game is a lot for me because I like to sidetrack a lot, and it seems like this game is very much applauding that. So I would like to just explore and see what the game has to offer, find secrets. So yeah, overall, I'm intrigued. I want to see. I want to play it. I want to see. Yeah, I want to see more, but actually, I want to see more like when I'm about to play it. I think I've seen. I've seen enough.
The moment they announced this, I was like, I'm on board. So yeah. So obviously.
Also, that you can actually boost in the flowers. That's such a clever idea. That Dennis also mentioned. I was like, I didn't think of that, and I was like, oh, somebody had a brainwave right there at Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's that's about when it comes to me. What about you, Yor?
Yeah, no, I think I really think this state of play did a great job highlighting a lot of the new things, but it really seems that the moment-to-moment gameplay in this game is completely different, and I think it's gonna be hard to get a good grip of what that means by just seeing the footage, because I think when you see the footage, it looks very familiar. We like the director's cut for Ghost of Tsushima already looked amazing. That I'm not blown away by the graphics here, and that's kind of wild in a way. But it just shows you that I think Ghost of Tsushima already looked great on PS5, and it does seem that they just improved the scale of the world a lot and the amount of things that are going on. So I'm sure it's gonna look amazing, but I'm not like blown away. Like when I saw Horizon Forbidden West for the first time, I was like, is this real, right? And I don't have that here. But again, I think they really just looked at, okay, how can we add more depth to all the systems in Ghost of Tsushima, and also let you play a similar game, but with a seemingly completely different character, even though she does have some of the similar moves. So I think it's gonna be very exciting to learn all the new weapons. I mean, that Odashi, like, that looks so cool
That thing looks insane
to use, and I think the time to kill is very short. It seems like they're already on a lethal difficulty mode or something, but it's like 2 hits, and that was lethal as well. So yeah, maybe this is already hinting at the fact that it's there at launch. Look, all the Sony sequels are playing it pretty safe, and I was not expecting something different from Ghost of Yotei. It is, like, in a broader sense, that it does overall make the whole PS5 generation way less exciting than... I mean, on PS4, we had all these games for the first time. So you were playing Zero Dawn, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima for the first time. So everything you saw there was completely new. And now it feels... Yeah, I can totally see already what it feels like to play this game. But again, I think this game will shine in its systems and its improvements and changes to the open world formula that I don't think really translate well to a state of play like this. But I do think when you really sit down to play, I think 1 hour in this game is completely different than 1 hour in Ghost of Tsushima, even though the moment, like, this looks kind of similar. Like, this move, Jin had that too, right? The sort of chain assassination that she's doing here. So
yes.
There are a lot of similarities, but I think that the package as a whole is gonna feel and play completely different. They already said it before this State of Play 2 that they want to have way more varied open world activities, and we have not seen, like, running after animals, actually. Maybe they were like, you've done that, like, countless of times in Ghost of Tsushima.
You don't want to see that right now.
Yeah, let's not show that here, but yeah, it seems like what my feeling is really, it seems like if you want to do something else in this game, there are way more opportunities, way more different activities than a Ghost of Tsushima, where it was very much like, go to this camp, around this camp you have a fox den, you have a shrine, so and they basically placed that throughout the whole map. So the map was different, but the type of activities all, like, were kind of rehashed throughout the map, and that's, like, pretty normal in an open world game. But it does feel like there's more mystery here, and I do think that that's gonna be very, very cool. I like the enemy variety a lot. They show a ton of different armors for these enemies. They, of course, can use the different weapons too, similar to Ghost of Tsushima, but yeah, now we can pick them up as well. Do you still think, Dennis, that the dismemberment actually plays a role in the gameplay, or was that just like an interesting thing that we
Oh
kinda
no,
saw?
it was Chad also confirmed that it was actually already in Tsushima, so it's not a new addition.
No, I mean, like, that you like
You mean
disarm their
disarming?
hands, and then they drop the weapon on the ground. So that could be very interesting, right? So here
Yeah.
that like here, they all drop their weapon.
I feel like thinking about, because I do see a weird thing where some of the things they tried in the Iki Island DLC are kind of finding their way into this. Like, we had Jin flashbacks, and now flashbacks are, like, an important game mechanic, or at least for telling the story. And I feel like in Iki we had enemies that switched stances for the first time, right? We did not have, or switched weapon types. You had those annoying guys that could switch weapon types.
Yeah.
Like, what if they took that further? And it's like, now if you disarm an enemy, they might show up with a completely different weapon type and change the flow of combat. But, like, indeed, they either have to grab it, or maybe, I don't know, a Mongol commander just like, hey, you give that to me. I'm the commander here. I'll fight with that weapon. And then one of the other enemies becomes disarmed. Like, I don't know how in-depth it's going to be, but we of course already saw cool things like with the fear mechanic. Maybe it plays into that. Maybe, like, disarming one enemy can scare others. Now that I'm looking at it, this is definitely a different type of spear. Never mind what I said
It's
before.
like a throwing spear. Yeah.
It is still a really cool skill though.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious whether it's just like a temporary they cannot attack, or whether there is more to it, because it seems at least some weapons you are able to use to your own advantage.
Yeah. So here we
And again,
see-
what I said earlier, that if you are able to actually use these weapons for yourself, not just as like a throwable, that could be a really cool way of working around
Yeah,
having to unlock weapons by killing one of the Yotei 6.
yeah, for sure.
But now that you've like shown, you paused this. I'm looking indeed like at where you're pointing the mouse at. Can you put like your weapon on fire like without it?
Yeah. No, it does seem like the oil again,
It's
right?
it's a ghost tool, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's what
Right.
it. Yeah.
And this
Right.
and this the tool where you throw something in the eyes
Yeah,
of
so-
the enemy, and this like a kunai.
Kunai, a
yeah.
bomb, wave the flame, and then indeed the blinding powder.
Yeah,
Then
and a
L1
regular bomb,
is
yeah.
is your rifle, and then on the right hand we have the spear, the katana, the kusarigama, dual katanas, and there's a separate button for drawing the odachi.
Yeah, and
Because technically speaking, you now have 5 stances instead of 4, which
yeah,
is cool.
Technically.
that's pretty cool. Although we had ghost stands. But
Yeah,
I-
we'll have to see what that Onryo is
Yeah,
how. Like
yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
cooler than the ghost stance, I don't mind. That's gonna be hard.
It's gonna
to
be
top,
the
though.
battle
Ghost
cry.
stance was cool.
They
gonna
also
be the
have a
battle
skill
cry.
tree for the wolf, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not for the bear.
Which-
R.I.P. No,
Yeah, I wonder what that's about. Like, huh?
no,
Like,
yeah,
is
I'm
that-
not sure. Maybe that's just a friendly bear that you come across that can take a photo with. I don't know.
Oh, maybe you can add it as a pose or something, and,
Yeah.
that they added that in photo
Or
mode just
maybe-
for funsies.
Or maybe you can tame those now
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of just the dogs. Like just sneak up to it and be like, "Hello, Winnie."
Bury in
That
the deck
would
at the
be
last- last
interesting.
time. Yeah, so far
Yeah.
nothing really. Focus will disarm enemies performing a yellow glint
Yellow
attack.
glint
Okay,
attack.
that's awesome.
Interesting that they renamed Resolve the Spirit as well.
Yeah.
Because Spirit seems to be the name for the resource, and it looks exactly the same, but it has a different
But
name.
what,
This
what,
is-
what, yeah, what were you guys like? So you place a map on the thing?
Yeah, but those are the travelers
Oh,
maps.
I
So,
see
like,
it now.
and
So
if
you're
you place it down, you
Ah.
uncover. It's basically a version of the scout system, but you're just buying parts of a map.
Yeah,
and put it
instead
in
of like doing.
I like
a
that
puzzle.
idea.
This is very
Yeah.
cool.
But that's my
though.
opinion.
This is very cool. Like, oh, it must be there. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, I do think the map is gonna be pretty big. We of course have not seen that. It also said like when you saw the Oni, when you were like interrogating the enemy, like that it would give you a new map location.
A new
So-
region, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Although I'm wondering if that's like that unlocks a new part of the map, or if you defeat them, you unlock like other activities in that part of the map because their presence is no longer felt.
yeah, it does say like
It says new region, so
yeah.
I'm assuming it's like a place you unlock, but that would somehow hinder you in exploration
Yeah.
before you've gathered enough clues. So that will be interesting to see.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Also, can we like how many armors can you get in this game? They showed so
Yeah, well,
many
there were-
already.
There were a lot of them.
Like, oh my gosh. And I hope
love this
transmog is
one.
like they didn't
Yeah,
specifically say
this one-
transmog was a thing, right? They only said there are
They
a ton
did.
of armors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't do transmog. Screw you guys. I don't-
Nah, they probably have because they have like different
Oh,
colors.
No.
They should have different colors of like the.
We already
different-
had this
Uh,
one though. I mean, simple
No,
one. The
the
head.
arrow-
The armor is different. The armor is
Yeah,
very
yeah,
different.
yeah,
The hat
yeah.
is the same.
Yeah.
I know which one. Tadayori. Yeah.
Yeah. The ranged armor as well. Ooh, what?
Yeah.
It really seems
do
like they
see
went
outfits
crazy
here.
with
Wait,
With-
do you see
Wait.
on the left? Do you see that? That little.
That seems
Yep.
like a loadout feature.
yeah,
right?
more
That's
like a
a loadout
loadout.
feature,
That's
I
pretty
think.
cool though.
I'm noticing another interesting thing right now, though, which is on the opposite side of the screen. So if you see you have ranged weapons, which is like a hand, which is, I assume, to like throw items to distract enemies, then you have a bow, a longbow, and a rifle. But that means that the rifle-shaped thing in the quickfire category is more likely supposed to be a matchlock pistol or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And like 2 bows, we also did not know that.
We did see 2 different bows in like the shots of them showing ranged
okay.
weapons. One was significantly bigger than the other, so it
Yeah.
seems like we're going back to the short bow, longbow that Ghost also had.
But yeah, this seems like
see-
a one-shot
Yeah.
thing to disrupt enemies or something. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you seem to be able to be upgrading them as well, like
Yeah,
with the
everything
little icon
seems to be
underneath.
possible to upgrade.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So many charms. Oh my god.
Yeah. Some of
This
them
is-
are turning though.
Yeah, it does seem so.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the red.
colors.
I really like
But
the
I
red
do.
in
I
this
don't
one.
think they have transmog at least at launch.
I love this helmet. But
Yeah.
like, are they orchids? The plants on top? They look beautiful.
They look
Mm,
great. Yeah.
I think so. Like this one, yeah. But this, oh, the hood. I love that.
Super cool. This
This
is
one as
awesome
well.
too, Yeah.
Yeah.
More assassin,
And
The
this,
masks
I mean,
even.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
I think we kind of touched on everything.
Is that one final note I'm seeing right now? That helmet on the right, the black helmet with the antlers.
That is Jin.
That looks vaguely familiar, don't it?
Yeah. But it's also turned. It's also turned.
Yeah. So Sakurai clan armor confirmed.
Oh yeah.
Coincidence? I think not.
No, that's way too similar, right?
Yeah, and them turning it around also makes me think.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, they seem to show some weapons as well. In between.
Yeah,
the
there's
maps.
some bows and like, but I think this is more like hinting towards the different cosmetics you can
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
helmet being there is.
I thought for 1 second Cannibal, but of course.
No, it's one of
No.
those with the weird teeth with all the fur on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Oh, yay!
Their friend.
But this is my thing. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
And why are they teasing time of day? I'm really curious if you can change.
That
the
was
time of day.
already
Time
in,
of day
in
was already a
Ghost photo
thing.
mode.
Yeah,
I
I
just-
know, but like
yeah,
I want to
there's-
do
Now
it
that you
here.
mention it, they showed like the musical instrument, right? But only like at the fire pit, and they just be like, yeah, you can practice your songs. And I'm like, what is the purpose of that?
Yeah.
They showed
I
a
mean-
list, and it was
Yeah.
way bigger than the list of songs. Because Jin's flute could only change the weather. What if the
Yeah, like-
shamisen just allows you to pick both weather and time of day? Since there are
Yeah,
more songs, so you
That
just
would
set
be
up
cool.
a camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you learn, okay, this song changed the weather to this, that would be sick.
hmm
When do we see?
And we
the
can
list?
always play at like midday, clear weather, Song of Well-being, Song of Spirit, Song of Vanity, Song of the Wolf, Song of Shrines. No, I think this is something else.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sort of buff or like something that helps you discover certain things because they are like related to shrines, which are things you can find in the open world.
Yeah.
I also really love that just the whole
Yeah, no, that's cool.
way of showing all the people that you meet and when they have new stuff for you.
Yeah. Show a lot of characters, insane.
Yeah, so this is the dude who teaches you Kusarigama. Woman army expert with the Kusarigama. There we go.
Yeah.
So that's your weapon sensei for
Okay,
that
so
weapon.
if you want the Kusarigama, go to this part of
Yeah.
the map. We, by the way, see the map over here. It looks pretty big.
Yeah.
It seems a little bigger than Ghost, but Ghost was pretty big too.
I think it's hard to like compare
Yeah.
the map size from this to like how it was in Ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
set up a camp and they will visit you. Set up camp.
It feels much bigger in the gameplay they showed. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so then you can probably summon them, but I don't think it's possible for everyone. But that is kind of cool. So then you can, because we did not see it for this guy, right, or not? For
No, the other one didn't. So, and I think both of us are right, where it's like, it might be random which one appears, but you
Or he's an
will
old man. He's
see-
like, I'm not gonna go to your camp. I'm sorry.
Or maybe like Sensei, this one has a quest, whereas the other one just has an item.
Yeah.
Because this one specifically says that I should return to his dojo to continue my training.
Yeah. Okay, that's not.
And then he's
possible
not
at a
going to be
camp.
like, oh, it's fine, you're on the other side of the country. I'll just come to you and we'll complete your
I
training.
will, I will just bring my dojo with me. Don't worry about it.
I'll put it on my back. It's fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. No, that's awesome. And I love
Very
how they
in-
did not like they did show the duels, but not like make a big thing about it because we know about them. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think that scene you were just showing is actually more interesting because we only had like 1 or 2 larger combat scenes in Tsushima, whereas this just feels like
Oh,
a
but
random skirmish on the bridge.
and
But there are a
look,
lot of people fighting.
you can like pick up the katana here,
Yep.
Yeah.
but maybe only to throw it. We will have to wait and see.
Even still, that's cool.
That is cool.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And there are a lot of enemies fighting here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, October 2nd. It's here before you know it. 3 months, little less.
Too
But,
long.
Yeah,
Too long.
it is too long. But thanks as always for watching the live reactions with us. And yeah, totally subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. We are going to do breakdowns, shorts, all that good stuff. So you can, yeah, watch a concise video. Of course, if you saw anything, you can also drop it in the comments after we end the stream, or reach out through social media or anything. I would love to hear from you. I already saw some interesting things in the chat, so thanks for that. And yeah, any final words from you guys?
Nope, still excited for the game. Thank you all so much for watching with us, and hope to catch you on another stream. That's it for me.
Yeah, same here. Thank you everybody for watching it with us, and yeah, check out our video that's coming up. So with a lot of going over all the details, and yeah, share what you found with us.
For sure. Yeah, Brock, thanks for modding, of course, as always.
Thank you.
And we will see you very soon. Goodbye.